Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. Presentation title is Winds of Change Offshore Power of a Low-Carbon Australia. And today, I will provide some background analysis on offshore wind power and its role in shaping low-carbon future for Australia. Offshore wind refers to the very large turbines installed at sea, either on phase foundations or floating platforms. Because winds offshore are stronger and more constant, these projects delivered more power per turbine. Electricity is transmitted back to the shore through the subsea cables. And looking at the current state of energy development in Australia, solar and wind power are important components of renewable energy. However, there is still a lot of room for the wind power generation, especially offshore power generation. This provides a strong space for our projects. However, we can see the progress clean energy sources already surpassed 41% of generation between December 2024 and August 2025. Offshore wind can replace fossil fuels at scale, helping cut emissions and stabilize renewables dominated fields by complementing solar and land-based wind.
Alright, my part is the land use of offshore wind farm. When we talk about land use for offshore wind, we are really talking about how ocean space is shared between energy production, fishing and shipping and conservation and more. Compared to a land-based renewable like solar or onshore wind, offshore wind has a major advantage. It doesn't take up farmland or urban space, but they bring new challenges. Marine space is limited, and shallow coastal zone ideal for fixing the bottom turbines are already crowded. Therefore, the precise site selection is particularly crucial. As floating wind tech improving, deeper sites become more viable, which helps reduce pressure near the shore. Site selection now use tools like GIS and multi-criteria analysis to balance the technical and environmental and social factors. Environmentally, turbines can disturb marine life, but they can also create artificial reefs that support biodiversity. So, careful planning and impact assessment are the key. Still, offshore wind farm can clash with fisheries, marine parks, and tourism. That's why multi-use strategies like combining wind farms with agricultural are gaining interest. Thinking that mussel or seaweed are farming alongside the turbines. This is promising, but it also brings new governance challenges. And generally, offshore wind has a small land footprint, but smart spatial planning is essential to make it work, especially in nowadays crowded ocean. Okay, that's all of my part, and here is some reference if you want further information. Thank you.
Let's talk about the carbon dioxide reduction potentials. Australia has the world-level wind energy resources. The offshore wind, which is stronger and more stable than the onshore winds, offering a higher capacity factor up to 40 to 50%. 6 declared wind areas hold about 67.4 gigawatts technical potentials, can show the great effect of the offshore wind. In Gippsland, there are 12 projects that have been approved with a total capacity of 25 gigawatts, will have an alternative to the local coal plant and promote the energy transition to the local industries. In Hunter Valley, the wind farms can supply the Tomango aluminum smelter and the proposed renewable energy resources predict. In the forecasted national electricity market annual electricity consumption on the different scenario, it shows the demand requires Australia add 4 to 13 of new energy resources annually. If Australia have optimized the capacity and address the environmental issues, offshore wind could overall contribute about 12% of the electricity by 2050.
Hello everyone, in this part of the presentation I will talk about the feasibility of the wind power in Australia. I will focus on the 4 points: the natural resource, the financial performance, infrastructure and cost, and the final challenges and the risks. Let's start first, the natural conditions. Australia is very lucky to have some of the best wind resources in the world. Coastal regions in the South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, and Tasmania all have the good, strong, and reliable winds. This makes them ideal for the building the large onshore and offshore wind farm, and it gives us a third natural advantage. Second is the financial feasibility. Most of the larger wind farms in Australia run under the long-term power purchase agreements or PPAs. These contracts lock in the electric price and provide steady income. I give 2 examples about the Snowtown Stage 2 in South Australia and Max Wind Farm in Victoria. So you can see the profitability really depends on both the contract and the wind conditions at the site. Third is infrastructure and the cost planning. Australia has shown it can build very large wind farm. The Copper Gap project in Queensland is about 453 megawatts, and with more than 100 turbines and extensive grid connections. This shows that local construction and logistics capacity is in place. In terms of cost, building wind power now range about 2 million Australian dollars per megawatt. The price are still falling thanks to the better technology and the cheaper financial. With the stable PPAs on the top of that, winds is becoming more competitive with than floors. Then is the challenges and the outlook. The main technology challenges is the intermittency. When wind doesn't blow all the time, so staging and grid support are very important. A good example is some farm with added the Telstra big battery to help stabilize the grid and provide a faster frequency response. And they also have environment concern about the communicative worry about the noise and the visual impact and the birds. To manage these risks, develop some buffer zone, apply noise limits, and run ecological monitoring programs. Finally is outlook. With a rich natural resource, stable PPAs review the capacity falling cost. The better risks manager wins power in Australia is not only technologically feasibility, but also financially sustainable. This makes it one of the key pillars for the reaching Australia 2050 net zero target.
Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I'm Rabah with the 4 quick takeaways. What offshore wind brings, where it works, and what we recommend, and how to start. So first one, it's the exclusive summaries. Offshore wind gives us stronger, steadier winds and higher capacity factors close to the demand. In Australia, it complements onshore wind and solar, relieving land and grid constraints, but ocean are shared space. So success depends on the marines' spatial planning and early, honest engaged with communities, fishers, and shaping. Second one, the flexibility and economics. The best set on the sweet spot of the strong wind, workable deeps and shaped, short grid routes and low environmental conflicts. On cost, turbines dominate CAPEX. Skills and local supply chains are the levers to lower LCOE. Reliable comes from the pioneering new generation with storage and timely transmission upgrades. Third, recommendations. Priorities declare areas with the solid resource and feasible grid access. Plan co-use buffers and baseline environmental monitoring, and share benefits so local communities see value. Build construction and OM plans around the safe navigation and biodiversity protection. So the last one is how to start. So start with the pilot project to de-risk technology and permitting. Look in bankable offtake CFDs or long-term PPAs to unlock finance. In parallel, run port vessels and suppliers and align storage and transmission so new power is absorbed from the day one. So if we execute in this order, offshore wind can deliver a reliable, clean power at scale, while protecting economics and supporting coastal economics. Thank you.